There we go. Talk?
Yo, what's up?
Okay, good. Like, I don't
So what
know.
happened?
OBS is acting weird. Not OBS, Streamlabs. My bad. Continue.
All right, bet. So I got a Greyhound from Philadelphia to Stroudsburg, right? So I'm going to the Greyhound section, and which is good because I left 2 hours early just because I had my luggage and everything, just in case, just to be safe, right? So I left earlier than I normally do, which was a good thing, because I take the train. Because like I said, I didn't have my phone. Well, no, I had my phone at that time, but what do you call it? What was I trying to say? I had an issue with my PNC, was it? No, my tip card. Because I just got my tip card from work. They told me that the funds would be on there, but it wasn't. So I didn't have any access to any money. So I booked my bus ticket and my plane ticket, everything in advance. And then I had to take the train to get to the bus station, right? Instead of an Uber like I normally do. So I left early. I had my suitcase on the train, whatever, that was cool. Get off and I walk over to the Greyhound bus station, right? Just to find out that the shit is fucking closed,
Yeah, and you
right?
had to go to a different station, right?
Yeah, which was a good thing that it was within walking distance of where I had to go to, because I don't know what would have happened from there. But I get to the fucking station, the whole shit is just boarded the fuck up, and I'm just like, what is going on here? So I had to look up directions, and like I said, good thing it was only walking distance from where I am. So I walk over to my bus stop, get on the bus, come down to Stroudsburg, link up with my boy Kenny, pick me up from the bus station, good looks, and I chilled at your crib until Kev came to pick me up. Then Kev picked me up, went back down by his place, like had dinner at Roadhouse one night, just chilled, and then we just stayed up because we had to leave early in the morning to hop on our flight.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin's parents drive us from his house to Newark, New Jersey to catch our plane. So we check in, we do all that good stuff, and our boarding of our plane gets delayed, right? Because we're thinking, all right, we're gonna come, we're gonna have a whole day in LA, get early morning and stuff, and get there in all time, whatever, whatever. We get there, and the boarding for the plane is delayed. But long story short, we get on the plane, we hop off the plane, get our luggage and all that good stuff. Then now we have to go get our rental car. So we hop off, get on the shuttle,
Sorry.
get to the rental car, do all that good stuff. And then he's like, "All right, so what's the first stop we got to make in LA?" Of course, got to eat that In-N-Out, right? So we take the rental car, drive over to In-N-Out. All I can say about In-N-Out is that it's good, it's definitely overhyped, and it's not better than Five Guys, in my opinion. But
Five
it was
Guys
okay.
Five Guys just got that dog in them. You know what I mean? They got that dog in them.
Nah, they definitely do got that dog in them, and even if it was dogging it, I wouldn't care. But, but so we went from In and Out, then we walked on Melrose, Rodeo, hit all the little tourist spots, or whatever. Walked around, sightseeing LA and all that stuff. And that's the one thing I'll say about LA too is that I get the hype. It's definitely hella expensive over there. You definitely need a lot of bread, but it's hella nice over there. The weather's perfect. I thought it was gonna be.
Sorry, we're gonna get copyright struck.
Yo, this nigga's bugging. Anyway, so see now I lost my train of thought. So now we rodeo sightseeing, whatever stuff like that, and then we go to our concert. So it was Autumn Summer's Desire show, it was underground rap show, solid show. At the show, what do you call it? One of the fucking speakers blew out, so it was like mostly like fucking acapella with no mics, but it was still a good time, I guess.
Okay.
And then from there we got backstage, we got to meet some people or whatever and stuff like that, take pictures and all that good stuff.
Bro, you
And then
made that nigga look like a fucking midget.
I know, but I think I make everyone look like a midget though, right? But that was Desire that I
Not
got to
really
take pictures
me,
with.
but like regular niggas, yeah.
Well, yeah, not really you. I mean, taller people are obviously gonna not look as bad, but regular sized human beings look small against me. And like a lot of people always say that it's like, oh, like you make me look small. And it's like, I mean, that's just how science works, but okay. And then so we leave the show. We drive like maybe like an hour down the road. We end up like parking in this hotel and like sleeping for a little bit because at that point it's like hella late at night. We wake up, drive the rest of the way to Vegas. We get to Vegas,
Yeah, cause
get to our
you only
hotel.
spent one day in LA, right?
Yeah, but day in LA, man. So we got in that morning, got to sightsee a lot of the good stuff. That's why I was saying, like, I get the hype behind LA. I would definitely come back to visit and vacation and stuff like that. And like I said, I couldn't see myself living out there unless I was like hella rich, bro. Like, because everything is just crazy.
Mad fucking expensive.
Yeah.
How much was
So,
How much was a gallon of gas?
bro, I don't even know. You'd have to ask Kevin that. But the thing was good too was that the rental that we got was like a hybrid, so it was good on gas.
Hey,
Like that one tank took us around LA and took us to Vegas, and we were chilling. But so like I said, we woke up that morning, drove the rest of the way to Vegas, checked into our hotel. We stayed at the Palace Station Hotel. Which the one thing I will also say about Vegas is that everyone says like you should stay on the strip, and I definitely agree with that because our hotel was like it wasn't far from the strip. It was probably like a 7-minute drive from the strip, which is like where you want to go to all the casinos and like I said, I don't gamble, but that's where all the stuff is that you want to do.
man's went,
And so
man's went to
yeah,
the Bozino.
yep. So like with the Ubers and everything like that, bro, that shit was hella bread. So if you ever go out to Vegas, I mean, you might as well just get the hotel on the strip. Yes, it's more expensive, but I mean, by the time you spend on Ubers and all that good shit, like, you might as well just book the hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
And not to knock the place where it was a nice hotel, nice place, resort. They had a pool area, casino down with restaurants and all that good stuff. They had a Cinebar. They had like a movie theater in there with like a bar outside and stuff like that. You can chill and all that stuff with a view from outside and all that good stuff. So like, I'm not trying to knock the place. It was good, but you definitely probably want to stay on the strip.
Well,
And so we get.
from what I've heard
No,
is
go
that
ahead.
you need a nice fucking pair of walking shoes.
I mean, not necessarily, I guess, because the thing. I mean, I guess you could say that because everything is literally like on the strip, which is crazy. Like
No,
all the hotels.
I understand. I
Yeah,
understand that, but the strip is big as fuck.
no, yeah, it's big as fuck. But the thing is like, yeah, you can bring walking shoes, but like, it wasn't. It's like, it's a lot of walking, yes, but it's not like you have to like make turns and like go a bunch of different directions. You're literally just walking in a straight line, and like
No,
all the
I'm.
casinos.
I
Yeah,
understand that.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying
no, no.
it's a lot of walking.
Yeah, but what I was trying to say was like all the casinos and stuff is like connected and stuff like that. So realistically, you could really walk that whole thing with like not being outside like that. Was what I was trying to always say is like you can go into one casino and literally just walk down the line. They all connect, and you can stay inside away from the sun and shit like that. And even the mall, the fashion show mall, the Vegas fashion show mall is
They
like
had a
all on
Nike.
this
They
like.
had a Nike over there.
I mean, not from what I saw. I didn't get to really explore that much, but I'm sure they have a Nike somewhere in, like around there.
Oh, we out, bro. We get that discount.
No, but that's what I'm saying. LA and Vegas is definitely two places I would definitely go back to. But so that first day we ended up just, walking around the strip, drinking, eating, doing all the fun stuff, seeing the places and stuff like that. And then so the main thing that we were out there for was the Summer League conference. And so that was also a good experience. Got to talk to like some GMs, got to talk to this woman. She owned the Aces, I think, at one point. She sold the team, now she works for the Mavericks. And so yeah, we got to speak to a lot of people, especially like RC Buford, who was like a GM with the Spurs, stuff like that. So like a lot of pretty big name people in the basketball world, got to sit down and listen to them talk. They had a bunch of panels and all that good stuff. And the hotel that we were in was like the teams for summer league were staying there. So the Celtics were there. We saw like a couple people coming in and out, stuff like that. And that was also a good time. And one of the days we ended up going to this little pool party at the Palms Casino, and we're literally waiting outside, right, by the valet, taking our Uber back to the strip to go do something else. And I go to the bathroom. I come back, and this man Kevin was like, and here's the thing about Vegas that I hated, bro. Every time I went somewhere, this nigga Kevin would always tell me, oh, I just missed somebody famous just walk by. Right? So we're at the Palms Casino. I go to the fucking bathroom. I'm like, yo, Kev, you called the Uber yet? He's like, nah. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and come back. I go to the bathroom and come back, and this nigga like, yo, Chris Brickley was just here. I'm like, nah, you're kidding, right? You know who that is, right? The NBA trainer. He's like, in the basketball world, like he's a pretty big like basketball trainer, whatever. And
The
so
white
I come
guy?
back, he's like, yes, the white guy.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he's like, the white guy? He's like, yes. So yeah, he's in 2K, And so he was like, yo, Chris Brickley was just here. I was like, no, dead ass, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, he was just standing out there like with a bunch of his homies or whatever. They just got in the car and dipped. Right? But the one person that I did see that same time while we were waiting for our Uber to come we seen this big ass Escalade pull up, right? And this nigga Kevin was like, yo, watch somebody famous hop out this bitch, right? And so I'm just like, nah, this nigga is like, it's probably just somebody random, right? So homie hops out, bro. It's Jadakiss. Yo, and I'm just like, nah, that's Jada for real, bro. And then he walks out with his two big ass bodyguards and shit, and they're just like standing around and about to walk into the casino. And this nigga Kevin's like, yo, I'm about to go up to them. I'm like, yo, Kevin.
This nigga's
chill,
gonna get
bro.
thrown.
That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Because I'm like, you know what? You go ahead and do it. Because the one thing you can say, Kevin's a fun time, but when you in public, you can never tell this nigga no. If he's gonna do something, he's just gonna go do it. Yeah, so I'm just like, all right, bro, you go. Because if I walk up on them, they're going to fucking attack the fuck out of me. Like, look at me. They don't know what I'm on. So you smaller, whatever, you less intimidated. All right, you go ahead and do what you do. I'm going to just sit here and watch. Like, I know it's Jadakiss. Like, is no other person it could possibly be. But he walked up. He was like, is that Jadakiss? And then the security guard was like, yeah. And then they just walk into the casino. And I'm just like, bro. I'm like, you would have been asked him if it was Jadakiss, and you knew it was Jadakiss. Like, why would you ask that? But,
Just a confirmation.
yeah, and he's like, no, I just wanted to know. And I'm just like, bro, we knew already, and that was the thing. So that was one thing that we did. And then, like I said, I was about to tell you about the J. Cole concert. So the first day, we were walking around the strip, right? And like, you know how it is. It's like a bunch of people trying to sell you shit, give you like, flyers and all that crazy stuff. I was already knowing that going into it. But like I said, when Kevin's in public, he just says, if anyone says something to him, he's just trying to have a conversation. And I'm just like, bro, these niggas are just trying to sell you stuff. Like, if you don't want to talk to them and engage, I don't want to engage with them, bro. I already know what's up. But so we're walking the strip, and so it's this guy who's like, free J. Cole concert tickets, free J. Cole concert tickets. And so that got me to look, because, I'm a Cole fan. So I was like, I'm, minding my business, and I'm like, yeah, these niggas is probably, on some, like, scamming shit or whatever. It's like, it's not all that it seems to be. And so he gets to talking to us. He's like, no, really, like, he's coming hosting at the nightclub or whatever. Like, if you come early, we're letting, like, people on the guest list come in, take down my number, we'll give you the information, all that stuff. He was like, just come in, like, nice club attire, whatever. And if you come early, you'll be able to get in, right? So we're like, all right, cool, we'll check it out. Like, if we don't have nothing else to do, we'll go see what it's about, right? It was at Resorts World Casino, and it's called Zouk Nightclub or whatever. And so, that's one of the popping areas people were telling us to go check out. So we're like, all right, if we got nothing else to do, we'll go check out and see if this J. Cole thing's legit. So that's how that started. So fast forward, we get back to the hotel, and we're getting ready, right? So Kevin has to go buy, like, a suit jacket or whatever, because he doesn't have anything for the conference. Because what was told to me was that we had to wear suits for the conference, right? So I packed my suit, and I packed like a good polo or whatever, just in case we went to the club or something like that. Like, I came prepared, just in case. This nigga Kevin was like, bro, I don't have a suit. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you told me that we needed a suit for the conference. He was like, oh, no, the conference is casual. You just wear a polo. I'm like, huh.
Nigga, damn.
So I just packed this big ass suit in my fucking carry-on for no reason. I mean, in my check-in bag for no reason. But fuck it, we were already there. So he was like, all right, we had to go to fucking Macy's, and he had to buy a jacket and all that stuff. So now fast forward, we're getting ready for the show, right? So I got my nice little black polo on. I got my dress pants. And then the guy was like, you don't have to wear dress shoes or whatever. Just wear, fresh sneakers, right? So I had my black and white 11s or whatever. So I threw those on. So I was like looking kind of fresh, right? And so I'm like, all right, this is what I'm about to wear to J. Cole. So Kevin comes out with his new suit jacket. He's got his little black shirt underneath. So we're all wearing all black, right? And so
mind you, these niggas is in the desert.
but like I said, it's an indoor nightclub. We were about to take the Uber and go into the casino and do it from there. So we didn't have to stand outside in it. You know what I'm saying? But so he's wearing his all black or whatever, and he threw on his suit jacket, and he was like, "Bro, you should throw on the suit jacket." And I'm like, I don't really want to wear it. Like, it's a concert. Like, I want to be in there, like, not have to be, having a suit jacket and all that type of stuff. But he was like, yo, he said, like, come in dress attire. Because the one thing he said was they're very strict about it. He's like, the dress code is very strict. If they see something they don't like, they'll just tell you to get the fuck on, right? So I was like, all right, I'm going to just throw on the suit jacket just to be safe, right? It's J. Cole. Like, I'm not trying to play with that. You know what I'm saying? So I throw in the suit jacket. We hop in the Uber. And the guy told us to get there by, like, 9 o'clock, right? So I say, yo, let's leave the hotel at 8:30, because if he told us 9 o'clock, he probably told everybody else 9 o'clock, and then everyone is gonna come at 9 o'clock, if not later. So if we go earlier, we're gonna have.
If you show up at like 8:45, you be inside.
Exactly. So that's what I told him. He was like, all right, bet, that's a bet. So that's what we did, and we were like one of the first niggas to be there. So I'm getting hyped at this point. I'm like, yo, We about to see Cole for the free. That's the thing too. It was a guest list, everything. But I'm like, yo, I'm about to go see Cole for the free, bro. This is crazy, right? And so we get in line. We're waiting around, and then slowly but surely the line starts to get long. The line starts to get long. Let's say we waited about like an hour now, and then one of the guys that work there, he comes up, and he's like, all right, we're about to split the line up. So he picks us and separates us. So we're in the front now. Like we're at the front of the second line, and then there's people in the line next to us. That's all the guest list, right? And so within this time, once 9 o'clock hits, once 10 o'clock hits, this fucking line is around the outside of the casino. I mean, outside of the club, and now it's all the way fucking outside. Like,
And you're at the front.
And we're at the front. The first niggas at the front, and everyone is like lined up all the way outside. Everyone comes in and they're talking to us now, right? They're like, so where's the guest list line? And I'm like, we're standing here and everyone is all the way outside. I think you have to go outside to get on the back of the line. They're like, really? We're like, yeah. And so we're just standing there thinking nothing of it. And then more and more people start coming to us, asking us questions. Yo, do you know here? Yo, do you know how we can get to the club? Yo, where does VIP go? And then it's starting to dawn on us. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm wearing all black and a suit jacket.
They think you're security.
Kevin is wearing all black in a suit jacket. And then we're starting to look around at all the niggas that are working there. And I'm like, yo, Kevin, we look just like those niggas, bro. We think we work here.
I'm surprised y'all niggas didn't just sneak in.
Yo, and that's what we were saying. It's like, yo, at some point we should just walk in and see if they'll say anything. But we didn't do that, right? But so we're just standing out there, right? And so more and more people is like, so now we understand, like, niggas think that we work here, right? And so now you got all the shorties coming up to us or whatever. They're like, oh my gosh, like, we're here to see J. Cole. Do you know where we could go? I'm like, I don't know. I can help you. If you give me your number, I can tell you where it's at. And stuff like that, right? So we're trying to just play the part now. And then niggas is coming up to us. He's like, yo, where should I go to VIP? He's like, let me talk on my headphones. Let me see.
Niggas just put an AirPod in.
He's like, right here. If you go, VIP line is right here. One guy, he started offering us bribes. He's like, look, man, I'm just really trying to see J. Cole, bro. Like, I'll slide you $20, bro. Can I get in the front of the line? I was like, hold on.
No.
You got 200? He's like, 200? I'm like, yeah, no. And then he's like, come on, man. Like, just try and look out, blah, blah. I'm like, sorry, can't do it. If I help you, I have to help everybody else. Please get to the back of the line. And so it was just shit like that, bro. So, like, I'm like, at this point, we're just having a fucking blast, right? And so these two girls come up to us, too. And they're like, oh, we're here to see J. Cole. You guys work here, blah, blah, blah. And so we're trying to, play the role or whatever. He's like, and then eventually he's like, no, we don't work here. We're just dressed up. And she's like, oh, you guys are really trying to get in, huh? And we're like, yeah, we're really trying to get in. And she was like, all right, well, we're going to go to the back of the line. We'll come back and see if, and talk to you guys to see if the line's not too long or whatever. But they end up going. And they come back and they bring, like, alcohol. So now we're just drinking with the girls and shit at the front of the line. And at one point, the fucking, like, seems like the manager or, like, the head boss or whatever of the fucking thing, right? He's talking to, like, somebody, and then he points at us, right? And this nigga Kevin goes like this. And then the manager sends the guy over to us. And now he's asking us questions. So even the people that, like, actually work there think that we work there.
He's like, yo, you're on the clock.
Yeah. So he points at us, and the guy comes over. He said, yeah, the manager told us to come talk to you guys. And we just look at each other. He's like, yo, who the fuck told you to come talk to us?
I don't know you. I don't know the manager either.
Yo, so this shit's crazy. And then I had another guy come up to me. He started offering me money, and I'm like, nah, I'm not looking to take your money. And he was like, do you work here? I'm like, nah, I don't work here. He's like, oh, because it's like, I'm like a security guy at one of the clubs too. And he was like, I thought you guys like really worked here for a second. I'm like, nah, man, we just the front of the line trying to see J. Cole like everybody else.
So, okay, why didn't you guys see J. Cole?
Bro, let me get to the rest of the story, bro. I'm going to finish it out. So then we're sitting there, we're having a good time. And so they said the show was going to start at about 9:45, 10 o'clock, right? So one lady comes in, then she started like giving us slips, right? She was like, who invited you to the guest list? Like, where's your confirmation text, whatever. So we show them, they give us like a slip of paper, right? So that's your like ticket to get in, right? And then, so she's like, right now the people that bought tickets is sold out. So we're going to put you guys upstairs, right? So you're not going to be on the floor with everybody else, but you can still be upstairs.
And you can still see the concert. Or
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, that's cool. I mean, we was getting it free anyway. Like, no one has an issue with that, right? All right, cool. So we're sitting there waiting. And now, like, fucking these two cougars come up and start flirting with us. She's like, look at my friend over there. We're just trying to have fun, blah, blah, blah. It's like, and like, keep in mind, they were bad. Like, these are some bad cougars. So now we're just chatting to the cougars, living it up, bro. Like, we real security, bro. And so we're just talking, having a good time. And then they come back out, like, maybe like 45 minutes after that. And they're like, sorry, everything is sold to capacity. There's no more guest lists, right? So I'm just like, we literally just punched the clock. It was working security, trying to see J. Cole for no reason. Like, they literally finessed us into like working the shift for them, bro. So us and that whole big ass line that's outside. That I don't know how the fuck big that line is now because we've been sitting out there and the line been outside. So I don't know how the fuck many people is out there too. They just come over and they just shut that shit down. They're like, yeah, no more guest list. Like, it's not happening.
but they gave you the slips of paper.
Exactly. They went in and gave everyone slips of paper and everything, and then after a while, they were just like, "Yeah, no, it's not happening."
That shit was a scam.
Exactly.
And that shit was
So
that shit was to make the club look good.
exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Is that if it's not sold out, then they will let people in, because then it look, you know what I'm saying, to keep optics up. But it was beyond sold out. I mean, it's J fucking Cole, so it's like niggas had no shot, bruh.
Niggas never had a chance.
Niggas never had a chance. But I did work security in Vegas for a nightclub, so I'm about to put that on my resume.
You get to put that on your resume.
Yeah. So after that whole J. Cole debacle, then we're like, all right, we're in the casino. Let's try and find, like, go somewhere else and like do something. I mean, the night is still young. It's only 10 o'clock. We're in Vegas. Like, we can find some other shit to do. Like, it was a bummer. Yes, I really wanted to see Cole. Kevin is not really a big Cole fan, but he was like, fuck it, we'll go just to go type shit. And so he was like pissed the fuck off. He was like, bro, we were working security and now we can't even go, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. I'm like, bro, it is what it is. It happened. Let's move on.
Exactly.
Like, it was under our control. That's what, like, and like I said, it wasn't like we weren't, like, it was a setup from the jump. They had the intention of letting us in because they got the slips, they was handing it out. And at a certain point, I guess they reached capacity or whatever the fuck. And they were just like, nah. So now here's the other kicker. So now we're just walking away. We're trying to talk to people. Yo, what's the moves? Like, what did everybody do out here? Blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Like, yo, we're going to downtown Vegas. You should come out, blah, blah, blah. There's like some club that everyone's going to, whatever, whatever. Like, all right, fine. We'll try and find a move. So we go out to the fucking rideshare area so we can call a fucking Uber. But get this, right? That whole big ass line of people that was trying to get into
Now
the
wanted
club-
Ubers.
Yeah, exactly. So we could not get a fucking Uber to save our life, bro. A Uber, a Lyft, a nothing, bro. So we fucking ended up walking like halfway back to our fucking hotel just to get out of range to call Uber back to our hotel. And that was that night. So it was basically the first night in Vegas was, and that was our first night. So the first night in Vegas was like a complete L, bro. Complete L. Alright. So then, second night, somehow I think Shaq was like doing some DJ set or whatever, right? And this was the night of the UFC fight. So now we have the UFC fight with Volkanovski fighting and all that stuff on the main card. And we're in Vegas. So we're at like where it's really at, right? So we're like, all right, we try to find a move today. We're going to get it back. So the first thing we try to look is a stadium swim. I don't know if you saw my story, the like big ass pool place or whatever, whatever. That's where we were trying to go for the UFC fight. Because on that big ass TV, they're going to have the fight. So we call in to book it in the morning, and they're like, yeah, it's all sold out. Like, you can't come. So that was our first move. We was like, all right, fuck, we can't even do that. Then Shaq was like hosting some DJ set or whatever that was supposed to be after the fight or whatever. And what do you call it? Adesanya ended up going there. Volkanovski ended up going there. Jamal Murray ended up going there.
Niggas was there. Niggas was there.
No, niggas was not there. Because we ended up trying to go back to Zook because Zook was going to throw a UFC after party. Right? Back at the Resorts World Casino. So I was like, I want to go to the Shaq shit, but Kevin wanted to go to the UFC after party. And I was trying to tell him, like, bro, after the whole guest list shit with J. Cole, like, you really
I would not want to go
there?
back there, personally.
Yeah, but he was like, I mean, let's go, you know, see what's up, blah, blah, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. At this point, it's like, it is what it is. Because the other thing about Shaq is, like, the one thing I'll say about Vegas, too, is, like, it's, like, really club-centric. Like, you can get into places, but you're not gonna be able to do shit without spending money on a table or spending money on chairs or spending money on a section or stuff like that. And the bar is gonna be overly taxed and stuff like that. And that's part of the reason why they let people into a bunch of places for free with the guest list and shit like that. Cause like not just the club, but a lot of like shit that they have going on, they have a guest list where it's like you have the chance of getting in free, but they know they're gonna make their money on the back end. Once you're inside, you're gonna pay for something. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up going back to Zook nightclub, and this was the night where we just ended up like going to the bar. Like there was this one bar that was in there, it's like really fancy called Breza, and you know Shannon Sharp, right? Shannon Sharp, he had like his new alcohol drop, like Le Portier cognac or whatever, whatever, and it was like being like served exclusively at that bar or something like that. So that was the one of the main things Kevin was looking forward to. He's like, he's a big Shannon Sharp guy, so he's like, yo, we gotta go try the Le Portier, whatever, whatever. So we did that. The bottle is fucking $35 a glass.
A glass?
A glass, bro. I got my shit neat because I'm like, for $35, I need to taste every bit of this. But he got his shit on ice. We were just sitting there chilling. And like I said, we're in like a Resorts World Casino during Summer League. So behind us, we got fucking like the coach of the Orlando Magic with a bunch of players like having dinner or whatever. We're talking to this one guy sitting at the table. And he's like, yo, you guys, you know, some good young guys, you know, you guys are gonna, you know, have whatever you want, blah, blah. He's trying to chat us up or whatever, you know. And it's like, it was a cool environment or whatever like that, right? So we get out of there. And now this nigga Kevin was like, all right, there's nothing else to do. I'm gonna just go talk to shorties. I'm like, cool, like I'm with that, but the thing is, you gotta understand where we are. We're in Vegas, in a casino, and they're all trying to get into the nightclub. They probably got niggas that's on dates with them, or they're trying to, you know what I'm saying, like with friends or whatever, whatever. It's not the optimal place to be trying to
Get shorties.
talk to shorties. Exactly, which is what I'm trying to explain to him. But like I said, once Kevin has his mind made up on
It's
something,
Kevin, bro.
you cannot tell him shit. So we start walking around, you know, chilling or whatever, whatever. And at a certain point, he was like, "Well, I don't want to go home, so I'm gonna just walk around and talk to Shorty." So I'm like, "All right, you do you, bro. I'm gonna just like find somewhere to chill out, and then we'll like link up later, I guess, right?" So this is why I keep saying is like every time I decide to go do something, this nigga sees mad famous people. So this nigga comes back to me, he's like, "Yo, I just seen CP3. I just seen fucking what's his name? Fuck, I can't remember. It was one guy that used to play for the Knicks.
Jalen Rose?
He's like, nah, he was like he's like more of a bench role player type guy.
Um, like newer or older?
Older. I don't
Steve
know.
Novak? I don't know, nigga.
Nah, black guy. But the name is gonna come back to me. But it's someone that I knew. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's NBA players, it's summer league type shit. So you were bound to see somebody. But he was like, "Yo, I just seen CP3. I just seen such and such. I talked to such and such for a second." And I'm like, "All right, that's good." But like, you say you was gonna talk to Shorty, and he didn't talk to no shorties. I ended up just chilling. I went to go see where this nigga was at, and this nigga's just standing around on his phone. I'm like, "Can we go home?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay here." I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna just get an Uber back to the hotel." So that was the second night. So it's like Zook did us dirty 2 nights in a row.
This nigga wanted to go back the next day.
Nah. So then what do you call it? The third night, what did we do the third night? The third night we ended up just going to the conference. That was after the conference. Like no, they had a reception the first day, right? So we went to this one hotel and they, you know, they were having drinks and food, you know, can mingle amongst people and talk to people, whatever, whatever. And like I said, I made some solid, like I said, the one thing I'll say about that conference was I made some solid connections. I met this one girl. She said she knows like people at like the athletic department in Temple that I can get in contact with. Because I was thinking about the main reason I wanted to go out to the conference was like trying to get into maybe like becoming a sports agent, maybe with like doing law and stuff like that. So that was like my angle on it. So like I said, I met some cool people, got some cool connects and stuff like that, and got some more insight into, you know, this actually makes sense to do and stuff like that. So I think that's the direction I'm gonna pursue in the future type shit. But the conference was cool. Then after that, we met this one guy. He was pretty cool, around our age and stuff like that. So he was like, "Yo, let's go out to Fremont," because Fremont is like the downtown Vegas, the old Vegas part away from the strip, right? And so that was like the big ass place with that giant ass LED lights. You could walk down. It's like fucking outside bars and all that type of stuff. You walk down and have fun. So we had a good time there and stuff, just walking around, going to casinos and stuff like that, and you know, having a good time drinking and whatnot. And so then it was the day of the conference. We had the conference for most of the day. We got up like maybe I want to say like 7 in the morning to get there, and it was at the MGM Grand Hotel. So nice hotel. We got there, had the conference, whatever, all that stuff. At the end we had drinks and food and all that good stuff. Got to talk to a lot of good people in the NBA business side and stuff like that. And what up? At that night we ended up going back to Fremont. That's when we ended up going to stadium swimming, all that type of stuff. That second time we actually got in, but I mean it was on a regular day at that point. But at least we got to chill and hang out, see have a little bit of fun that night, and then we were out the next day. And so that next morning is when I hopped in the shower, broke my phone.
Cause y'all left that day. Yeah, you all left the day you broke your phone, right?
Yeah. So it was like a whole thing. It was like, damn, how am I gonna get on my flight? How am I gonna, get home? Once I get home, how am I gonna call an Uber? It was like a whole big deal. But it ended up working out. And so, all in all, I would say I had a good time in Vegas. Maybe not the most optimal time, but like I said, I don't hold it against it. I think we should definitely go back. The one thing I'll say about Vegas, though, is you definitely have to have shit planned out. Like, the main reason why we went to Vegas was for the conference, and then we were like, all right, we're going to try and bullshit around and find stuff to do, like, in the meantime. You can't do it that way. Like, you have to have specific
you gotta have shit planned out.
Yeah, you have to have specific moves to have a good time. But all in all, honestly, that's why I said, like, if you go back and do it right, and like I said, the one thing I would say too is like bring like a group of people, because like I said, it's more like a club atmosphere type stuff. Like me and him going and fucking buying a section makes no sense. But if you have like a group of homies and stuff like that, and y'all split it up, it's not as
Yo,
bad.
you trying to be out to Indonesia and get some shorties?
I'll go to Indonesia. Yeah, I'll go anywhere. What the fuck?
I'll
I'll go anywhere where they don't hate black people.
What's it called?
At least enough to like attack me on sight.
What's it called? Yo, but if you do become a sports agent, you trying to be my agent, bro?
Yeah.
You trying to move to Australia and shit?
I'm not trying to move to Australia though. We already had that discussion.
Why, the big ass spiders?
Not just that, but like Australia is like it's just not my speed, man.
Yes.
I don't think it is, bro.
Fucking
It's like what is really attractive about Australia? Like what's attractive out there, bro?
nothing.
Exactly. Like the only thing I know about Australia is the fucking outback in the Sydney Opera House. Like what else is there?
Big ass spiders.
Exactly.
Is it Australian football? Yeah. I think it's Australian football.
You ever heard of something called American football?
Yeah, Australian football.
No, but I'm saying, have you heard of something called American football?
Yeah.
Yeah, my point is like, why would I go over there? We have it here. It is better.
It's a different version.
So what do you mean it's a different version? Like, how different is it?
I know they kick the ball a lot.
Bro, this nigga and his exotic sports, yo.
I know
The American sports are not good enough for you?
American sports, bro. Like basketball was made by a Canadian.
Yes, it was, but like it's the biggest in basketball. The National Basketball Association is the biggest basketball league in all the world. So
What about China? What about the Beijing?
China.
What about the Beijing Sharks?
Yeah, the CBA is cool too. I mean, like, I'm not saying that the other places don't matter, but like as far as like me, I'm a big sports guy. You know that. And so me personally, I don't think there's no better sports than in the USA. Soccer is the only thing that's better outside of the USA. Everything else is like there's no place where you're gonna have better basketball. There's no place where you're gonna have better American football. There's no place where you're gonna have better baseball. I mean, Japan and China that comes close, but it's not the major leagues. And like stuff like that, like soccer, I think is the only real global sport that's like the best players are not from America. But that's just how I look at it.
Nigga, the best tight end in 49ers history is Canadian.
North America.
Kittle's
Is that
Canadian.
more accurate? I know, so I changed my from America to North America.
No, nigga.
Is it more accurate now? This side of the world.
In the Western Hemisphere, head ass.
Exactly. You don't have to go far to find it. Is all I'm trying to say. Yeah, you don't have to go far to find the best. But yeah, that was my whole rundown the LA Vegas thing. 10 out of 10 would recommend, would do again. like I said, it was a good time. The one thing I'll say, I wish we had more time in LA, but like I said, LA was definitely gonna be hella expensive. And Vegas is fun. You just have to have a plan.
And bread and plans.
Yeah, but like I say, Vegas was probably less bread than LA though, and that's the one thing that me and Kevin were having like a big debate about was like this nigga Kevin, this nigga. The one thing I say about this nigga Kevin falls in love quick. From the moment this nigga touched down in LA, he was like, "Yo, I'd fucking move here." I started looking up rent and shit like that. I'm like, "Damn, nigga, we haven't even been here 24 hours." This nigga's
like,
already planning his escape plan. He was like, "Yo, I should just."
I already got
like,
a job. I applied last night.
Exactly. Like, this nigga Kevin was like, "Yo, realistically," he's like, "I work from my computer, bro. I could just stay out here." And he's like, "Yo, tell my parents I'm not coming back." He started looking at rent, bro, and like for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, small ass apartment, that shit starts at like fucking 3K.
2,000, yeah.
No, like 3K. I'm like, "Yo, Kevin, bro, like it just doesn't make sense, bro." But me personally, we were talking to a lot of people. Me personally, I would live in Vegas. Because like I said, it's cheaper, no state income tax. The Strip is always going to have events and people coming in to do shows. It's always going to be popping. There's always going to be entertainment. There's always going to be shit to do. And then if you really wanted to go to LA that bad, it's only a 4-hour drive.
If you really, yeah, that's why you say it like that.
Oh, because everyone we were talking to was like, "Oh yeah, I pick LA over Vegas." Like, duh, who wouldn't? But like, what makes the most sense? And like, you still have access to LA if you really wanted to go that bad. Is all I'm saying.
How far are you from Texas?
That I don't know. It's all close, right? It's all right there. Probably like maybe like from Vegas to Texas. It depends on what part of Texas, but
It's probably gonna be like a
maybe
10-hour
like
trip. To fucking
yeah, I was just gonna say like probably 10 or less or something like that. But that's the one thing I would say too. We met this one guy that was out there who was pretty cool. That was staying at our hotel. He's from LA, so we were talking to him for a little bit. But he went to school out in Austin and stuff like that. So we were talking to him. He was like, Austin's a good place to go and stuff like that. But I'm like, the one thing I'll do too is like I really do want to see what Texas is like. Like this nigga Kevin always talk about like, I wouldn't go to Texas, all the tornadoes and stuff like that. But I'm just like, you want to see what it's about though, like Houston, Dallas, and all those places. Like never been, so I definitely Texas trip has got to be next, I guess.
I'll go with you on that trip.
Yeah, cause Texas got to be lit. Some part of Texas at least. Houston, I know for sure. Houston is definitely jumping at some parts.
We gotta be careful. We can't go during hurricane season.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to deal with all that bullshit. But yeah, man. So that was my trip to the other side of the country, and like I said, it was a great time.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
I guess we can talk about like some random topics and stuff like that. I know you wanted to talk about them finding the white snow in the White House.
That shit is a cover-up.
Cover up for what?
Our investigation yielded zero suspects in the cocaine.
Nah, see that blows my fucking mind.
Zero,
And,
nigga?
bro,
The Secret Service just let niggas into the White House with snow, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. The way they make the fucking White House seem is like it's like the fucking Twilight Zone, bro. It's like January 6th happened, and we thought it was one thing, and it completely turned out to be something completely different. Now, out of all the people in security in the fucking White House, no suspects turn up over this shit. It's like, bro, that shit is the fucking Twilight Zone. Like, who knows what fuck happens between those doors, bro?
You know what's crazy? When they found that snow about a couple days ago, that Hunter was in the house.
Oh no, we know who it belongs to. Yeah, we know it's him. Like, do you really have to say it?
His son is a known drug offender.
Do you really have to say it, or can you just sniff it out? You know.
All right, guys, that's the end of the episode. It's just like, what the fuck? And then you heard about?
I don't know.
You know I told you, right? They're trying to impeach Trump, right? Not Trump. They
Biden. Yeah, I was about to say wrong guy. They try to impeach both of them apparently. Yeah.
They're trying to impeach this nigga. I don't think it's gonna pass the House.
I don't think, bro. First
of
all,
it's gonna pass the Senate because the Senate's gonna be like,
Oh no!
Biden. It's too little, too fucking late. Like this nigga's already on his way out, and honestly, this nigga might pass away before he gets impeached first. So it's like
this nigga is he might be a child predator, bro.
I believe so. I saw that video with the baby and shit.
Why are you nomming all babies, bro?
Nah, he's definitely a weirdo, bro. He's definitely a weird. He's just a old, like senile, like weird nigga. You can just tell, bro.
He likes sniffing babies. That's why he was nominated on him.
Hmm. He's like that coach that always tried to talk to you after practice. That's him.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's the touchy coach.
yeah. That's the vibe. That's definitely the vibes he gives off.
But other than that, I don't know. The world's just falling apart every day.
I mean, yeah, but like we knew that already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Fucking
Damn, I'm trying to think. Like, what big news has happened
Nothing.
since like I've been gone?
Since you've been gone. I can't sing that too long.
No, there's definitely been like some notable things, but it's just like they all start to blend together. Like nothing surprises me.
You heard about Tucker Carlson?
What about Tucker?
He's about to make his own news media network.
Oh, about time.
And did you see the fucking interview he did
No,
with Andrew?
nah.
It was pretty good.
All right, I'll check that out.
It's on Twitter. It's on YouTube.
I'll definitely give that a look. I've been like the one thing I'll say too is like I've been watching like a lot of podcasts. I'm getting like really into just like hearing about like debates and like people just talk about stuff.
Yeah, how you feel about Adam 22, bro?
Oh, see, look, we hit one. We can definitely talk about that, bro. Cause I'm like, bro,
Nah. The one that fucking gets me is the mommy's a model. Mommy, people like paid for mommy's pictures. Mommy's getting BBC'd. Like that was crazy.
Nah, at least he was wild for that one, bro. Nah, that shit was hilarious. Nah, but that's what I'm saying is like there's definitely something we could talk about, but none of this shit surprises me no more. And that's one of the things that like definitely did not surprise me, especially the trajectory that that nigga Adam gets involved in.
Is he still doing no jumper?
Yeah, so basically this is why I used to be like the biggest no jumper guy, and like I've fallen off no jumper because the whole thing is he brought in a bunch of co-hosts. Like I don't know, you probably don't know, but like AD, T-Rel. Like,
Yeah, I know. AD, the one Crip nigga.
Yep.
And what's
T-Rel.
I don't remember T-Rel. I remember AD though.
Yeah, AD was like he was there the longest basically.
But
so basically, no, go ahead.
Didn't he fire the one guy while shooting?
Yeah. So okay. So since we're going down to the downfall of Adam 22, I guess on this next segment. So like basically,
it all started with his wife getting BBC'd.
No, that's how it ended. But from the beginning with the whole no jumper thing is like the one thing I say I like No Jumper. I liked his interviews. I'm a big rap guy, so he definitely interviews a lot of rap people and a lot of like underground people. I wouldn't say like underground rappers, but people in the hip hop scene that no one really speaks to or talks to. So it's always interesting to hear those type of conversations, like people around famous people and stuff like that, and see what that's like. So that's the one thing I always liked about No Jumper was they had the big interviews, but they also had like the random interviews, but still had funny content and like were interesting to watch and stuff like that. But the whole thing that came down with the downfall of the whole No Jumper thing was at first it was starting to come out, and like I said, this nigga Adam is always like giving off that weird kind of energy type vibe. Like he's like an atheist type guy, no morals type things. He's do whatever for money type, vibe is whatever. But like you try to look past it for the content. But the whole thing that he started getting like pedophile allegations. Like
were those real?
Apparently so, they're real. And like I said, once I seen that type of stuff, like I can't rock with that type of shit. And for me trying to be unbiased, it seems like it's real. So basically it all started like, and Lil Pump like came out on social media. He's like, I've been trying to tell you he's a pedophile, blah blah, whatever. But the whole thing basically goes back way far back, like when Lil Pump and XXX Tentacion was like first getting famous, and that's how I first found about Tentacion was first getting popular. Was how I first found out about No Jumper from the XXX interview and stuff like that. But around that time, Adam was like rolling with Little Pump and all them, and like in their crew or whatever, like following them around, like type, like in their posse or whatever, I guess, and stuff like that, going on tours and shit like that. And so apparently he would like talk to like the fans or whatever. Like there was this one girl that was like 16 or whatever, and he tried to say that he didn't know she was 16.
My nigga was
but,
pre-ordering
and
this shit.
Nah, yeah, exactly. It was a pre-order type situation. Like he said, I talked to her, but we didn't do anything, and then I kept talking to her until she was 18, and then even then we didn't really do anything. But she's saying that they did and they didn't and stuff like that. So once again, that's already weird as fuck. And then the whole reason why Lush got fired on the show was because apparently he was like talking to people on their Reddit or whatever about the whole pedophile situation, and Adam didn't like that. He felt like he was going behind his back on that type of shit, so he got mad and fired him live for that type of shit. That's how that started. And then I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but from there he started like having a falling out with
I thought he had
AD.
I thought he had fired AD and then he had fired that guy live.
No, that guy came before the AD thing.
But didn't they all go start their own podcast thing?
But I'm getting there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting there. The Lush thing happened first. Lush is the guy that got fired live, right? Then around that time, like I said, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I don't know if words were had or anything like that. But one day during like the No Jumper show that they normally have, Adam was like, "Oh, I think you guys should just do your show, and then I'm gonna have new people on my show." So it had to be some type of disagreement or some type of beef behind the scenes where he was like, Adam was like, I don't no longer want to be on the show with you guys. You guys can have your own show on the day that, because they have their own show anyway scheduled. So he's like, you guys just do your own show, and I'm gonna have new people on the main show, basically. And so from there, that's when they were all like, fuck this, we're all gonna quit then, fuck you, and we're gonna start our own shit. So that's how everybody else dropped off. And then from that point on, like I said, with all the pedo shit and then the firing on live and how he was treating, AD and all them, like I said, which was the main reason I started watching the No Jumper show, because he had that show long before they were even on. But even before that, he fired House Phone. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's been there from the beginning. So he dropped House Phone, he dropped Lush, and then AD and them were still around, and then he did them sideways. So it's like, this guy is getting rid of all the people that are actually adding value to the podcast. Because as much as I love No Jumper and I like Adam when he does his interviews, like, no one's watching the podcast for him.
Just for Adam, they're watching it for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. So from that point on, like, I haven't been paying attention to No Jumper. I've been watching their shit, which is on Fig Unity World and stuff like that. They have their own shows, so I watch that now, and they're way more entertaining anyway. So it's like, that's how the whole No Jumper stuff. And so from there, I guess we can fast forward to this whole new thing, is like, because Adam and his wife or whatever, it starts off when how he met her, right? So he met her as like a groupie,
Elena,
like, basically, yeah, they're like way back in the day, and she was a groupie, and this was back in the day when everyone was doing, like, you remember, like, premium Snapchats and all that shit. So she been in this type of shit, and that's how he met her. You know what I'm trying to say?
So she was already getting BBC.
Yeah, exactly. So he tried to turn a hoe into a housewife, and then I guess he started to actually love her and marry her. I guess this is how it
They
worked
have
out,
kids. All right, a kid.
and yeah, and have a kid with her and get married and all that stuff. And so they, like I said, on the podcast, I watch a No Jumper podcast. But on the side of that, he has like his whole porn OnlyFans business or whatever that, is not my business type shit. But so basically him and his wife do a podcast and with porn stars and shit like that.
And then they fuck afterwards.
Exactly, basically that type of shit. And so basically how the whole shit shakes out is that his wife was getting jealous of the fact that they would have threesomes with girls. And so she wants to have her fun too. So it's like, that's how this situation started coming about. And this nigga is going through a fucking life crisis, losing all his friends and all his co-hosts and shit like that. And No Jumper stocks is going down and shit like that. So I guess this is the only type of form of get back I think he thinks in his head, because like I said, he's the type of guy that is, like I said, is a no morals type person that'll just do it for the money. Like, especially in the relationships you can see on the show, like, he doesn't give a fuck how you feel about like the clickbait clips and all that type of stuff, as long as it's making money. Like, it gives a fuck like who offends, like who gets offended. As long as the clips are making money, then it's like,
as long as the zeros is going into the bank account.
Exactly, he's that type of person. And so it's like, this was only like I said, a move that I'm not surprised by because me personally, one, I wouldn't have wiped that girl in the first place. Two, he also had a kid with her. And then now that you have a kid with her and got married to her, now you want to let her do that? Like, you could have let her do that while y'all was dating and, like, not in a committed relationship and, exit, stage left. But now you're tied to her forever. And you going to allow her to do that? That's just not me. But that is the life he chose to live. So, can't say I'm surprised by it. And like I said, that's how shit shakes out. And so... Fast forward to the end, so she's getting BBC on the internet. So, yeah.
I should talk to his agent, get him in here.
I know we should talk to him, but I don't think nothing's gonna change him.
No, not Adam 22, the BBC guy.
He interviewed him, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I seen that shit. I'm like, bro, this is the most embarrassing. Like, and the thing about Adam
that
too,
shit, that
is,
shit
like,
was worse. That shit was worse than the fucking the Will Smith shit.
No, that's a billion times worse than the Will Smith shit, bro. Because the Will Smith shit, at least, like, he didn't know it was going on at the time. Like, I mean, me personally, I don't know how you can't know that type of shit is going on, especially with your wife. But in that sense, he didn't set it up and throw the oop for the nigga. This nigga Adam set it up and threw the oop like D-Wade off the glass on a fast break in the
Nigga said.
Like, yeah. So that type of shit I don't get, bruh. Me personally, I don't give a fuck who you are. No one can touch my girl or my wife. Not even my wife, my girl. No one is doing that too. So I can't even fathom that. And the fact that you got a kid with her too, like, yo, your kid is going to grow up and see that shit. Like, and that's the thing. And that's, I guess we can, like, diverge from this topic a little bit and, like, more into the OnlyFans thing. That's, like, kind of like the whole idea that I don't get behind this OnlyFans shit is, like, y'all are like, I mean, I can't be surprised because a lot of people like only think about the now, but like, bro, like, you're gonna grow up, you're gonna have to get into relationships. No one's gonna want to take you seriously, and even if someone does want to take you seriously, when you have kids in the future, all this shit is going to come back and haunt them. Whether you like are don't want to ignore the fact of that now and think, oh, everything's sweet and my bank account's big and all this type of stuff. Like, you just want to live for the now. That's cool and all. But you do understand, like, that shit is just gonna come back down the road and fuck you the fuck over, and your kids over, and anything after that. So it's like I can never understand that type of shit, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's all in like the pursuit of money type shit. Is like, it's all fleeting. But yeah,
That's fucking crazy, bro.
yeah, man. But this is the times that we live in, bro.
Thus is time we live in.
Yeah.
You heard about D-Hop today?
Yep, D-Hop going to the Titans.
That's fucking
What do you call it? I
crazy.
mean, is that where all washed receivers go?
Washed receivers?
Yeah, Julio Jones, now him. No comment.
For me, I think he should have went to the Bills.
Well, duh, that would be a better place
That
for
would
him
have
to
been
go,
the
but
fucking the way, but I think it was probably a money thing.
probably too. And aren't they having like issues with
Stephon?
yeah, Stephon Diggs?
Probably.
Yeah, because I heard the last thing I heard was that he didn't want to re-sign, or he's not showing up to training camp and all that type of stuff. So I don't know what's going on with that situation really.
The Bills,
yeah,
man,
man.
need some Jesus.
Yes, they do. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The NFL, I think, is going to be interesting this year, I guess. I mean, for me, it's like it's a lot of movement to the point where it's like you don't really know who the favorites are going to be this year. Like, I mean, I guess in the NFC, you could say the Eagles. That's like an easy pick, I guess, right? But on the AFC side, I think it's wide open.
AFC
The
side
Chiefs,
is kinda-
I mean,
it's the, it's,
you can
it's
say
the
the
Chiefs,
but
and then it's wide open.
exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, I guess it'll be interesting to see where the NFL goes this season.
This season will be a little bit of a doozy.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, that I watch all the NFL games and I'm tuned in week 1, but we all know it doesn't get good till like week 4 or 5.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
But so we'll see.
the first couple games, everybody's get back in the flow.
Exactly. You're gonna have that one weird ass team that's undefeated, like the fucking the Commanders are gonna go undefeated
For the first
4
5 weeks or some shit.
Oh yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl.
And then the rest of the season they lose every other game.
Yeah, so yeah, you know how that shit goes. But yeah, what do you got? Do you see the All Star game, the baseball All Star game, MLB All Star game, or the Grand Slam? I mean, not Grand Slam, Home Run Derby, none of that stuff.
I know Julio Rodriguez got the 41.
He didn't win though.
I know Vladdy won. Vladdy Jr.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I saw Vladdy last year in Toronto.
I think the National League won the game. It was 2-1. I know that.
Yeah, I watched the highlights. I'm a big highlights guy. I watched the MLB
Look,
highlights.
bro, and for me is as it's very disappointing to only see fucking Nick Castellanos and the fucking relief pitcher there.
No, that's how I was like, bro. Once I saw this nigga come up to bat, I'm like, how the fuck did Nick Castellanos get here?
Where the fuck is Trey Turner? Where the fuck is, you know what I mean? Like, where the
Right,
fuck is
sorry.
Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah, exactly, right? What the fuck happened to him? He fell off a cliff?
No, that nigga's still hitting bombs, bro.
Oh, okay. Shore bombs?
The Schwar bombs, bro.
Bro, you know they had a drink out here called the Shore Bomb from Wawa?
That shit must have been good.
Never tried it, but
Never
it was advertised. But it was advertised everywhere. You know how it is in Philly, bro.
They love Philadelphia in Philly.
Bro, the thing is crazy about it too, bro. You would swear they love the Phillies more than the Eagles, bro. I see so much more Philly shit than I see Eagles shit out here.
Bro, the Wawa, they changed the paper to Eagles logos.
Nah, the one shit I've seen, like I said, with the Schwarbaum shit and all that stuff, I've only seen like Philly shit.
Well, it's because baseball lasts longer than football.
That's true too. It's more like
So you
throughout
see,
the year.
you see it longer than you do football.
Yeah, like if I would rank it, especially being out here, it's like you see way more Philly shit. Like I was just leaving work the other day and I saw these people get on with their jerseys and their gloves. So like they were clearly coming from the game. And so I was like, damn, these niggas are still coming from Phillies games and shit like that. And then you'll see like maybe a few people wear like Eagles hats or like Eagle stuff like here and there. And then the least you see is like Flyer shit.
Really?
Yes. Like I seen like one guy on the train wear a Flyer shit like maybe like a couple days ago, and I haven't seen since. And like you don't even hear about the Flyers or nothing, bro. Sometimes I be forgetting the Flyers are here. Like,
Exist.
yeah. But yeah, and I guess the Sixers are like that's how I would rank it. I'd say nah, it's definitely the Sixers, then the Phillies, then the Eagles, then the Flyers. And I'm not saying like as far as fan base and support, but like, at least like what you see around, you know.
I think it's just
Yeah,
because of like the way the amount of time the seasons are, because football is only from August to February, and then baseball's from fucking more than half the year.
No, yeah, you're probably definitely right about that. And the one thing too I'll say too is like, bro, you go to Temple and like you see like a bunch of people from random like everywhere, and it's like all of a sudden everybody's like Sixers fans. It's like, bro, like we're trying to like go home and study, and you just see mad people just watching the Sixers games. I'm like, bro, before y'all came here, I know y'all didn't give a fuck about no damn Sixers. But now everybody you talk to out here knows the fucking starting lineup by fucking first name.
Exactly.
We got James Harden.
Not the way Tyrese Maxey has been balling and fucking Korkmaz and bro, they know everybody.
We got the MVP, Embiid.
Yeah, oh yeah, they know Embiid for sure, yeah. So no, it's all fun and all that.
Fuck that! I'm trying to move to Miami and be with Messi.
Oh nah, see, I just seen that too. His debut is coming on the 21st, I think.
That nigga went to
I gotta-
Publix. That nigga went to Publix.
Are you joking about that, or you really went to Publix?
No, he really went to Publix.
And they fucking swarmed that bitch, huh?
Niggas was just in there.
Oh really?
Yeah, niggas was just in there.
Nah, cause remember when he was like after he won the World Cup and he went to that restaurant in Argentina and that shit was fucking swarmed like for fucking
Of
miles.
course it's gonna be fucking
Well,
swarmed.
yeah, but in Argentina. But I'm saying like it's fucking Lionel Messi. I don't give a fuck where on the planet he is, bro. It's like that's Lionel Messi.
Exactly, bro.
Like there's no way I could just walk by Lionel Messi in Publix and just be like, oh, that's just that's.
I'm gonna need two things. I'm gonna need a picture, and I'm gonna need a signature.
Bro, it's not up right now, but I have a fucking big ass fucking Messi poster, bro.
Exactly.
Big Messi guy.
But I want to get his jersey. But like, should I get the Barca jersey?
Nah, I mean, that's like hella throwback. I would get the Barca jersey. Me personally, I'm like, that's how. Because to be real with you, that's how I really started getting into soccer was because of Messi. So yeah.
In my opinion, no sui is all about the fucking gold.
Nah, and you know what's crazy? I always compare it to like the LeBron, like Michael Jordan type thing, and like it's crazy because I don't know as much about soccer as like a couple of my friends that I know from out here, because you know they're international and you know come from different places, so they like really know soccer. But they say like this take is accurate because this is what I observe is like Messi is like LeBron and Cristiano Ronaldo is like Jordan. Oh wait, no, it's the other way around. Messi is like Jordan and Cristiano Ronaldo is like LeBron. It's like Ronaldo is like the physical specimen, you know, the athlete, you know, he wows you with his play. But Messi is more of the guy that's gonna come in and win and, you know,
We'll get it done, head ass.
yeah. And as much as I'm the LeBron guy, that's kind of the comparison.
Hey, bro, LeBron has 4 chips.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking about LeBron, I guess look, we just stumble on topics. You see how he switched his number back to 23?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it though.
So
In my eyes, he's always been 23. He's done more with the 23 than with the 6.
exactly.
Even with those two Heat championships, yeah. But like, when I look at LeBron, it's the 23. So, not mad about that.
I'm surprised you didn't go to like a whole different number.
Nah, I see that I would have hated. Cause I'm like, bro, you're getting older, and now you want to completely change to a different number. It's like, who the fuck are you anymore?
But I thought he was gonna give 23 to AD.
He was at one point. That nigga has not earned it yet. Fuck him.
That nigga's still gonna be number 3.
Yeah, bro. That nigga AD, bro. I'm getting up on AD, bro. I'm sorry. And you know what? And I hate to say it, but this nigga Kevin was right. Kevin Abdullah. Because Kevin is a Miami Heat fan. And so when that trade with AD went down, he was like, AD is a great player, but he's never going to be healthy. And I'm like, no, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. Just trust and watch it.
Well, I'm gonna let you know right now. In the past 2 seasons, AD has played more games than Kawhi Leonard and Curry.
That's not saying much. That's not saying much. This nigga Kawhi has been sitting on his ass since he won that chip in Toronto. Like, that's not saying much.
He really has, bro. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, so it's like, and with Curry, it's like, at least that nigga is still like Steph Curry. Is like, as much as I love AD, he's not Steph Curry. And even Steph Curry at 50%, at least he's, you know, on the court and not in street clothes. So, that's just my take on it. I've given up all of my slack for AD, bro. There's no more slack left, bro. Fuck him.
Until he comes out and does what he's supposed to do and average fucking 30, 10, and 20 a game, bro. Fuck him.
No, nigga, it's 30, 10, and 10. Nigga need 10 assists.
Nah, I always talk about boards. That nigga need to put up Jokic numbers for me to start believing in him again.
In my opinion, Jokic should have got back-to-back MVPs.
Yes, and that's the one thing too. Like, I've never liked the way that they give away the MVP awards, bro. It's so many people that should have gotten the MVP the year that they deserved it versus when they got it. Like that one year where Harden was fucking putting up numbers we haven't seen since Jordan. He was dropping 60-point games and all that stuff, bro. They didn't give him the MVP.
Forgot. Who the fuck did they give the MVP to? Some bitch ass nigga who ended up losing the first round of the playoffs.
Well, I don't remember. Was it Giannis? I think maybe.
Was it?
I'm not
Giannis?
saying, but the year that Giannis won it was I don't know. I forget who it was. No, I'm pretty sure it was Giannis. Pretty sure. But that's what I'm saying. Giannis won it that year. He shouldn't have won it that year. But the year he should have won it, somebody else won it. That's what I'm saying is like they always do it weird like that. Because I'm pretty sure that year
was it 16, 17?
I mean, I'm not to remember, but I can remember because we also argue about the debates and shit like that in school and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it was Giannis at that time.
It might have been. It might have been
Harden.
16, 17 because 17, 18 Harden got the MVP award.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. That year that Harden should have won it. That was the year Harden should have won it, and they gave it to. And the same thing with Jokic.
They gave it to the 16, 17. They gave it to Westbrook.
Yeah.
That nigga was averaging a triple-double.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like stuff like that. I never liked the way, and especially if we were being real, during LeBron's prime, he should have won it every year. So it's like shit like that.
Oh, nah. The years while he was in Miami, he should have won. the 2018 LeBron with
3-1 comeback. 3-1 comeback should have won it. Like
should have
stuff
won
like
it.
that.
2018 LeBron was dominant though, bro. That nigga, remember
Bro.
that nigga made LeBronto.
Yeah. Like you. I don't know if you're like familiar with like Double XL,
Mhm.
like the freshman list. Like that's the way that that's the way the NBA gives out the fucking MVP awards. It's like the year that they blow up, it should be on Double XL. They don't get it, but the year no one gives a fuck anymore, and like, why is this nigga here? Is like that's what they give it to you.
Exactly.
It's like damn, this nigga hasn't been a freshman yet. Damn, like he been blew up. So yeah, that's how the NBA gives out the MVP, like Double XL. So I mean, I never fucked with them for that shit. That's the biggest mistake that the NBA makes is with the MVP shit. And I don't like the way how it's a regular season award and they wait until the end of the finals
Fucking
to give
season,
it out.
exactly.
So like it's always like some weird shit like that. But also, see, look how we just keep stumbling on topics to talk about. While we were out in summer league, did you hear about how the NBA announced the in-season tourney?
In-season tourney.
You didn't hear about this?
No.
So you remember how when they introduced the play-in tournament and everyone was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this shit?" And to be honest, I kind of do fuck with the play-in now. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives more legitimacy to the end of the season, right?
Mhm.
But now they're implementing the in-season tourney. So basically, what it is that a couple games during the regular season are gonna be like tourney games,
Okay.
and so it's gonna be like they're gonna have groups of teams, right? There's gonna be like an A group, a B group, a C group, and a D group, right? And during the regular season, the teams in each group play each other 2 times for 4 games, 2 on the road, 2 away, right? And then the best team out of those like groups or whatever, they move on, and then they play in like a bracket style tournament to like for who's the better of those team, and then they eliminate down to the whatever, and then you win like,
During
an
the season?
during the season, and it's gonna be like an in season like tourney champion or whatever. Basically, is how it's gonna work out. I'm surprised you really didn't hear about this shit, but this is gonna happen starting this season.
I know they changed the coach challenge rule.
No, yeah. But
if
this
you,
is like
if you have a successful challenge, you get your challenge back.
you get it back. Yeah. But this is like the biggest thing that's coming to the NBA this season. So, like I said, on paper, like I said, I didn't like the play-in at first, but like the play-in is not that bad. I don't know how the fuck this is gonna work. And my whole thing is like, even if it does work, like who the fuck cares about winning an in-season like championship?
I hope you know it's about the end goal, the fucking finals.
Exactly. Like, okay, we won the in-season tournament, but you didn't make the playoffs. Like, what kind of sense does that make?
What's
Who
the name
gives
of
a fuck?
what's the name of the finals trophy? Is it the O'Brien trophy?
The Larry O'Brien, yeah. Yeah, so you should honestly look it up, bro, because like when they broke down that video and all that stuff, it was like some weird shit, bro. I'm like who asked for this? But we'll see. Yeah, definitely not me. But that's the thing too. They were trying to say, oh, it's gonna keep the regular season more competitive and all this type of stuff. But you're talking about 4 games during the regular season for a championship that no one gives a fuck about. So it's like, how competitive are
Can
they
it
really
be?
gonna get? Exactly. And then we already have a problem with resting players in the NBA. So it's like when these fucking tournament games come up to win a fucking meaningless trophy, like who's gonna play their stars in that? So they can get hurt trying to win the fake trophy instead of the real one? Like, I don't get it.
Me personally, I don't know why they keep trying to fucking switch it up.
I mean, I don't know, because you know how things are. It's because of ratings and stuff like that. I think the NBA's ratings weren't as good this year.
Well, actually,
I mean, me
the
personally,
last couple of years have been super bad for the NBA.
yeah. So like, I don't know. Me, especially me, who's the big basketball guy. Like, I would just turn on the NBA just when I'm bored, just to watch. Like, I love basketball that much. Even like me, I find myself not tuning in as much. I mean, mostly because I'm the LeBron guy, and the Lakers were trash for the first half of the season, so it was like no point to turn on my TV anyway. And it's like maybe I'll watch a Sixers game here and there, but like I'm not a Sixers fan, so it's like
All these niggas did last season was get swept.
yeah. So it is what it is.
Niggas took out the reigning champs to fucking get swept by the fucking Nuggets, bro. Do you think Do you think it would have been?
But I don't think they would. In no world would they have beaten the Nuggets.
No, the Nuggets was on.
Espe-
Nuggets was on a roll.
Jokic, and I'm not trying to dick right here, but Jokic is officially the best player in the NBA. Is like, he's not the most athletic, but his skill set is like no one is going to be able.
No
to
one
beat that.
passes like
Especially-
him.
And it's like, bro, especially like as a big man at that size, is like the other big men should be easily defending him, and like no one can fucking stop him. Like he's just crafty as fuck. Like there's nothing you can do about it. And that nigga shoots fucking threes, like be swishing, like you leave him open, it's going in. Like he's basically Steph Curry from the three with fucking like Hakeem Olajuwon paint moves and fucking LeBron passing. Like it's literally like fucking unstoppable.
Serbia, man, they make them different over there.
Yeah, and what do you call it? Which was crazy too, because during like the whole conference, like a lot of the people were like from overseas. Like a lot of players are now from overseas. The one guy that was like an Asian or whatever that was talking at one of the panels, he's from overseas and stuff like that. Especially during summer league, because Victor Wembanyama was like a big topic of discussion during the whole thing we were talking about and stuff like that. Especially for him coming from overseas and stuff like that. It's like the world of basketball is like becoming globalized, and so like you know how I was just saying earlier that NBA in America has the best basketball, but like nowadays the best basketball players
Nah,
are coming
nigga.
from all over the world.
Nah,
Yeah.
nigga. Did you see the fucking the FIBA World Champion for the? I think it's for teenagers.
Nah, who?
The United States blew out every team by a 90 plus points. Every team.
Okay, I'm not talking about teams. I'm talking about individual players. Like you can't argue with Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can't argue with Joel Embiid. You can't argue with Nikola Jokic. You can't argue with Luka Doncic. They're all international players.
Nah, bro.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Once LeBron retires, I'm a Mavericks fan.
Yeah, you're a dick right there. I would say that at first I fuck with Luka because I would agree with you, but nah, I think I'm just gonna bring it back home, rock with the Nets.
I might just be a Knicks fan. Fuck it.
Nah, I can't be a Knicks fan, bro. That's part of the reason why like I was never a Knicks fan was because growing up like I had the fucking Knicks basketball and like played around the backyard and shit like that, and like I would always hear the fucking horror stories that my fucking dad and my fucking grandma, and my aunts would tell me because they were around when the Knicks were actually good. And they were like, every time we thought the Knicks had a chance, they were gonna do something. They always find a way to fuck it up. and so they will always go into detail about the stories, and they remember where they were watching the games and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, this is why I can never be a Knicks fan.
Niggas haven't been good since
The
they
only
had Patrick
the
Ewing.
only the only time I was ever claiming being a Knicks fan was back when Melo was cooking. They had Amari Stoudemire.
Bro, you know what's, and that's like the
Raymond Felton.
That's the only
Raymond
team.
Felton.
I'm like, why didn't they win a fucking championship?
They weren't good enough. They were never good enough. But that's when Carmelo was balling. I was the biggest. Like before I was on LeBron like that, I was the Melo guy. So that was when I thought Melo was the best. So that's like way long ago.
Well, I can't say I've been a LeBron fan since he entered the league because he was 2. I was 2.
I wasn't watching basketball at that time. No,
So
too young.
But for the longest I can remember, I've always been a LeBron fan.
No, yeah, like what do you call it? I remember like the tail end of his being in Cleveland. Like I wasn't watching basketball like that at that time. But like once he made that move to Miami, around that time is when I started watching basketball. So that's when like I got into it with the Knicks. Then around that time he went to Miami, and then that's when I was moving away from New York, and that's when the Nets came back before I moved. So like all at that same time was how I started watching LeBron. Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, Bub?
What did we talk about? Vegas trip. We talked about the downfall of Adam 22. We talked about Coke in the White House.
Exactly.
We talked about NBA and international players and all that good stuff. Anything else really? Nothing that you can think about that pops into your head?
Did you see that Sound of Freedom movie?
Son of Freedom. What? Like say again? What's that?
Sound of Freedom?
Nah. What is that?
It's the child human trafficking movie.
Nah. Is it new?
Mm-hmm.
When did it come out?
I think the 15th. Not the 15th.
So what is?
The
So
third.
what is
The
it
12th.
what is it
I think the
about? Is it like
All right.
one of those based on true events type things?
Yeah, it's based on true events type things. It's about like this one guy. I think it's in South America, or Central America, but he's like trying to. He's like an undercover guy. He's trying to like uncover this big ass sex trafficking ring.
Mm-hmm.
And you should just watch the movie. It's pretty good.
Did you see Zendaya get trained by two white guys?
Yeah, you saw.
That's the movie. That's the movie I saw.
Did you see? You see this nigga Tom Holland taking in the ass?
That's also the trailer I saw.
But nah.
I didn't see about a human trafficking though. That bro, the way that relationship looks now is crazy, bro. That shit is crazy.
But they're saying that the whole movie's like a whole conspiracy. It's
Oh,
like,
The kids don't get sexually trafficked.
nah, that shit is very.
Do you know
real.
who's
That
do,
shit is
do you
very
know who's
real.
the biggest consumer of child pornography on the planet?
Old white man?
No, I'm saying by country.
By country? United States? I mean, I believe that, bro, because you gotta understand is like, look, I'm not surprised by that because one, we're like the country with the most freedoms, right? And we have access to internet, right? High speed internet and all that good stuff. So the combination of those two means that the people in our country who feel like it's their right to explore all types of weird shit have access to do so. So that's why I'm not surprised by that.
It's just in my head is like, why?
But that's the thing. I always say this about like topics and stuff like that, like when it comes to like serial killers or like sex trafficking or like pedophiles and stuff like that, you always want to ask why, but it's good that you ask why because if you understood why, then it would be bad. So it's always so it's always those things. So it's always those things where it's like it's not for me to understand and I don't want to ever understand. So yeah.
It's like, why?
Bruh, I would never understand it, bruh. There is so many women of the age of 18 and older that are fine. Why do you have to, start doing
Prey on
weird shit?
children.
Yeah, like I said, one of those things I will never understand or want to understand.
Got the fucking baby sniffer in the White House.
Yep, exactly. To see exactly like niggas like him, he's probably like contributed to that statistic maybe.
All right.
They just couldn't find the coke in the White House. They definitely not finding the kitty porn. They didn't find his shit. No suspects.
I wonder if he has it on a 1998 fucking desktop. This nigga has 15 terabytes worth of child porn. Niggas back in the 90s didn't even know what a terabyte was.
No. You know what that reminds me of, bro? One day, this is like clearing my mind now because you said that. One day, we were at lunch in high school, bro. And it was me, Vinny, and Adam, right? And we were on Instagram, and it was one post or whatever. You know how you just like see like random headlines on Instagram or whatever and stuff like that. And like there was this one headline where it was like, man gets arrested and has like 99 zettabytes of child porn.
Nigga, damn! That nigga has every child pornography to be made.
Yo, what the fuck even is a zettabyte?
That shit is
This
1,000
nigga got 99 of
terabytes.
this shit. Yo, it was some crazy ass shit like I had never heard before, like zettabytes or like gigas, like something crazy. I'm like, yo, I've never even heard of that shit, bro.
It's like niggas in the 90s. So remember the Vegas shooting, right?
The Vegas shooting.
Oh wait, I didn't get to talk about my Vegas shooting.
Oh yeah, the niggas got that. Oh fuck.
Oh, I gotta tell this one. I gotta tell this one now because just to get this out the way, because I told you, but I didn't tell it on here, right? So literally the day that my phone fucked up and I didn't have a phone was the last day we were in Vegas, and our flight didn't leave. Well, my flight didn't leave till like 10 something at night, and Kevin's didn't leave till like 11 something. So we left our bags at the hotel. They said they'll keep it or whatever, whatever. And so it was like, all right, it's our last day in Vegas. We'll just, walk around and do some stuff or whatever and kill time, basically, right? And so we were talking to this one Uber driver, and he was like, yo, in all the casinos and stuff like that, like, they let people get into the pool area. The pool is, like, open to the public, basically. So we were like, oh, shit, okay, cool. Let's go over to Caesar's Palace and see what the pool's like. Go in there, maybe see some girls, some bikinis, whatever, whatever. That'd be a good time to pass the time, right? Cool. So we head over to Caesar's Palace, and we're walking around the downstairs. We get upstairs. We're trying to find where the pool is. We get to the pool, and keep in mind, it's like a police officer, and then there's hotel staff, right? And so we get there, and they're like, do you have your room key? And we're like, no, I thought it was open to the public. And they was like, no, not right now. We're closed. And then we're like, okay, that's weird, but all right. And then Kevin was like, there's no way that they're closed because it says that it's open. Like, it's open during regular hours. And so it's like, okay, that's weird. So we ended up walking and like down the hall, and there's like this little bar or whatever, right? So we sit down at the bar, we're chilling or whatever, whatever. And this was back when my phone, because the thing with my phone was I dropped it in the shower and it was working fine. Throughout the day is when it started to fuck up and then turn off, right? So at this time, I could get into my phone, but it was like fucking up at that point, but I could get into my phone, right? So I was scrolling down Instagram, and then I see live hostage situation in the Caesar's Palace Hotel. And I'm like, yo, that's why the pool's closed. And I turned and showed to Kevin. I'm like, yo, there's a fucking hostage situation going on, right? And so then the lady that's sitting next to us, she turns around. She was like, oh, yeah, whatever. It's a hostage situation. Like, I don't mean to interrupt you guys or whatever, but I just want to let you know, yeah, my husband and I were staying on that floor, and we can't even go up to our room or anything. Like, he said there's a guy up there with a girl with a gun and stuff like that. And he's, like, throwing shit out the window. And they were like, they don't know, like, what's going on. Why didn't they just shoot this
nigga through the window?
Nah, but he has a girl hostage, though. Like, he's throwing shit out the window, but I don't think he's, like, camped out by the window. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's in the room with the girl and, like, randomly tossing shit out the room and shit. I don't know what the fuck was up. And then I was like, this nigga probably, like, lost some money and then, like, started losing his shit or some shit. But that's the whole situation right there. So we were like, yo, it's like an actual live hostage situation going on right now. And everyone's just walking around like it's normal. Then we see, like, fucking K9 units walking around. We see, like I told you, the nigga had a full Call of Duty loadout with the fucking M4 just walking around in full, like, gear and all that shit. And, like, it was crazy. And it was crazy because I'm like, yo, Vegas is crazy as shit. I'm looking over at Kevin like, bro, because we drank before, like, because we were just chilling at the bar and shit like that, right? So we drank, and I had, like, vodka and shit like that. Like, me, I don't get fucked up off of alcohol, but I think of vodka is what does it for me, right? Because I had that one vodka drink, and I was feeling good, right? So we're just all walking around while all this shit is happening, and we just see fucking niggas and fucking guns and K9 units and shit like that. I'm just looking over at Kevin. I'm like, bro, this vodka is hitting right now because I'm just walking around this shit like this is normal. Keep in mind, it's like a whole ass situation going on upstairs. And so we walk out of this one section, and we see, like, mad police cars, mad ambulance, and mad, like, people coming in and shit like that, rushing in and stuff like that. And we were like, yo, we got to get the fuck out of here, bro. So we ended up leaving the Caesar's Palace and all that stuff. And later in the day, they said that they caught the guy or whatever and stuff like that. But niggas was in Caesar's Palace when that happened. But go ahead.
That's it.
Nah, you were gonna say something before that. My bad. We went on a completely different tangent. We were talking about the guy with the kitty porn, and then you said he probably has it on
the Vegas shooting, right? So
yeah.
You know, there's still no reason for that shooting, right?
Wait, what? So remind me, what is the Vegas shooting again? I mean, like, it tells you how fucked up America is because there's so many mass shootings. But
so there was a shooting during some type of rock festival.
Okay, no, I know what you're talking about now. That was in Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one Mrs. Wood was at.
Yeah. So after the shooting, the brother of the shooter, right? He was like, my brother would never do some shit like that, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently, the shooter's house burnt down. And then the brother got arrested for having, I think it was like 100 and something terabytes, 125 or 128 terabytes of fucking child pornography on a 1990s computer. And I'm like, niggas didn't even know what a fucking terabyte was in the 90s. How the fuck does he have that much fucking child porn on that computer?
Bro, nigga had that shit hot off the streets on a floppy disk.
right? Like a fucking floppy disk couldn't even hold a fucking gigabyte, let alone a terabyte.
I think you did tell me about that though.
So it's just like
But nah,
government conspiracies and shit.
I don't know. Their parents must be very proud of them. You got a fucking mass shooter and a guy watching kitty porn. I say kill the parents.
Well, also
I'm joking, by the way. But
the firing rate of the, if you look at the video footage, the firing rate of the gun isn't matched to if you shot a gun with a bump stock. It would be more of a light machine gun type of gun. You understand?
so he rigged it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
There's a
So
lot.
you're saying
There's
so you're saying that it was more than one shooter is what you're trying to say.
There's a lot of shady shit. No, I'm not saying there's more than one shooter. I'm saying what they were describing the shooter to be using wasn't what would actually be happening that was recorded.
So what do you think it is?
I'm not gonna pull a Alex Jones, say certain shit was set up, but I think shit was set up.
So what would be the purpose of just firing into a random crowd? Like
Okay, do you remember what happened afterwards?
No.
They banned the bump stock on rifles.
So okay, so now I see what you're saying.
Do you know what a bump stock does?
No.
It allows you to shoot a semi-automatic rifle automatically. Because of it uses the gun's recoil to press the trigger again.
Yeah.
So, right after the Vegas shooting, they banned.
No, I know what you're saying now is that they did it as a way to get that passed.
Yes.
Basically. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's very weird. Like, especially like a lot of this gun stuff is very weird. Like, I know like you've seen like about like ghost guns and shit like that, or like before when you were saying about the little what was it that they were arguing about that one time with the little harness or something like that for the gun?
The brace, the stabilizing
brace. Yeah.
So the ATF,
yeah, like stuff like that.
The ATF made the stabilizing brace illegal because you can shoulder the brace, right? So if you have that brace and you have it on a weapon that's the barrel is shorter than 10 inches, it's labeled as a short-barreled rifle and not a pistol. What's it called? So we have a stabilizing brace on a rifle that has a barrel less than 10 inches. So that gun is labeled as a short-barreled rifle that needs to be registered with the ATF. So you need to buy a tax stamp. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's basically you pay the government for you to have a certain weapon or attachment for a weapon or for a gun. So in the examples that they were having at the Congress hearings, they had one with just the tube. You know what I'm talking about, the tube, right?
What do you mean by that?
So it's like a blank. You know how like you put the butt on the end of a gun instead of like a butt, it's just a tube.
Okay.
So they're saying that if you take off the brace and you put on the tube, it's a pistol. But you can still shoulder the gun with the tube.
So wait. So my question to you would be like, why do you think they're doing all this? Like,
it's okay. So most people that use the stabilizing brace, I think it's 10 million Americans that own it. Most of the people that own the stabilizing brace are disabled people or ex-veterans, because they don't know how, they can't hold a gun properly anymore, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just to like limit the accessibility of weapons to people.
I mean, I get that point to limit the accessibility of weapons to people, right? But like, they're coming for these like attachments for disabled people. That doesn't really like limit it to like regular able-bodied people.
And if you, I think they still ended up. And the thing was, is that they changed the law without going through the proper channels. They just changed it. It was like, oh no, this is illegal now.
No, yeah, I remember you showing me all that stuff. But my whole question would be like, yeah, I get like they're trying to make it harder or less accessible for people to get weapons, but it seems like all this attachments and stuff like that are directly at disabled people. So like, what would be the benefit in that?
The thing is, and I'm gonna be very general with this term. The thing is with Democrats is that when they see any type of attachments on an AR-15, they think it makes the gun more shootier.
Okay, I know what you're saying by that. I get that point, but in reality, it really doesn't. And even if that's your goal that you wanted to do, it doesn't really limit it that though.
They think that if you add a foregrip
Because the
to
other
your
thing,
gun,
because the other
shoots
thing,
automatically or some shit like that. It's like it's really
no,
fucking retarded.
I understand you. They don't
I
really
can't say that
know
word
how. But
Cancel.
like, yeah, but like, it's like my whole thing would be like, I understand what you're trying to say. That's what they would think. But my whole thing is like, if you're really trying to limit like gun violence and mass shootings and all that stuff, none of these mass shooters are disabled to that extent where they're using all these fucking stuff. So it's like you're not even like limiting the problem that you think you're trying to limit.
Most of the shootings that happen in America are done with handguns. What's it called? Do you know what happened in you know how the timeline in Canada worked?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so what are they pushing right now when it comes to guns? What are they pushing hella hard?
In Canada or here?
Here.
I don't know what.
They're calling for the ban of assault weapons. Do you know what an assault weapon is?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
all right. So an assault weapon is anything that causes assault.
Look, no, yes, but here's the thing though, with the assault weapons and all that stuff, haven't they been trying to do that already for years and years now?
Yeah,
like
but
with machine guns and all that type of stuff.
Let me finish.
Nah, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So in America, they're calling to ban assault rifles.
Yeah.
Or assault weapons, right?
Mhm.
You ask these people, what is an assault weapon? And they'll be like, oh, for example, AR-15 or AK-47. No. I want an exact definition of an assault weapon.
Yeah.
And they don't give you an exact definition. They'll give you examples of a definition. Do you understand?
No, I understand. Yeah.
So, in Canada, the first thing they did when Trudeau got in office is that they banned assault weapons. So people couldn't buy semi-automatic, magazine-fed rifles.
Mm-hmm.
You can only buy hunting rifles.
Okay.
Right after that, I think they did it last year. They banned handguns, so you can no longer purchase nor possess a handgun within the country of Canada.
What the fuck?
So people can't even defend themselves. You understand?
No, yeah, because that's what people would use.
And so, you know how the law on guns in PA work, right?
No, exactly. Like, what do you mean?
All right, so I think it's everywhere, but in PA, and you have to be 18 to buy a rifle or a shotgun, and you have to be at least 21 to buy a handgun because of the concealability of it.
Yeah.
But majority of the shootings that are happening within inner cities are done with stolen guns and not guns that people are buying. So, my opinion, this whole ban assault weapons thing is them trying to push for us not to even have weapons.
No, I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, I understand that. But my whole thing is the way that they're going about it right now is ineffective. And the way that even if they did get to that point is also going to be ineffective, because the thing about the difference between Canada and us is that that's what we have the right in the Constitution to bear arms. That's what this country was built on. And even if you try and take people's guns away, but even if you try and take people's guns away, there's a black market for it. They're already out there, and you're not going to get rid of those. Yeah.
And the thing is that the argument that a lot of people say is that, oh, they had, muskets and shit. It's like, yeah, that was the most advanced weapon at the time, was the fucking musket. And what's the most advanced weapon that a person can buy is an AR-15. And So it's kind of
I mean,
it's kind of the like not I'm not gonna say stupidity. It's kind of like the ignorance of not being able to visualize what the fuck is actually trying to be what is actually trying to be pushed.
I understand what you're trying to say, but my whole thing with this whole gun thing is like it's kind of like a weird problem because it's like one, like it's obviously a problem. People that have access to these weapons are doing these terrible things with them, but there's no way you could ever limit that without impeding on people's rights. And then even if you do try to, it's never going to fully eliminate the problem anyway. You're just going to have criminals with guns and people without guns to defend themselves. So it's a problem where it's like it's already fucked from the jump. So like I don't understand trying to get the guns out of people who need them to defend themselves. There's no way that you could ever get the guns
'Cause
out of the hands of the criminals because they're getting them illegally anyway. So it's like there's no way you can really solve this problem, and that's the biggest thing. Is like there's something that has to be done, but like the way they're going about it now is not going to solve it. And I don't really see it. Like I said, I don't know no better than anybody else. I don't see how you can really solve it either. But I don't think taking guns away from people is going to solve it either.
if you take guns away from people, the only people who's gonna have guns are the criminals and the government.
Exactly, and you don't want that either, which is what I'm trying to say. Is like it's like a problem where it's like there's no solution to it.
You know, so and
You like you made like it's one of those things where you made your bed, now lie in it. That's what this country was built on. It's in the Constitution. You made the bed, now lie in it. This is what we have. And like I said, there's something that has to be done, but what can you do about it? Like who has the answer to that problem? No one does, and that's why we have what we have. So it's like I don't know.
neither do I.
You know?
But
But me personally, that's why I'm getting my handgun. Cause like I said, the one thing I could say, like you said, if we don't have guns, the criminals have guns, and so we need more people who are smart and gonna use them well and defend themselves properly and use them like the right way, so we can stop the people who are gonna.
'Cause I'll let you know
abuse
right
and use
now.
it the wrong
If
way.
every teacher, if teachers had access to a gun, at least if there was at least 2 teachers in every building with a gun, there would be no school shootings.
Exactly, but I'm not even saying that necessarily it has to be the teachers, because
Or just
I don't know
a
how
gun
comfortable.
on
I don't know,
campus.
because yeah, exactly. More so to that, I would say, because I don't know, like like one of the students start pissing off their teacher. He's like, you know what, fuck you, I'm about to put a shit.
But,
So like, I don't know. Didn't I say stop talking to my fucking class, right? Didn't I say that?
You want to go to the principal's office?
You wanna go to the principal's office, or do you want to go to God? Pick one.
But to me, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, and that's one of the big problems with this country. Like, as far as like it's one of those things. It's like, what can you do about it? It's like, I don't know. That's why I'm gonna get my gun. So if I'm ever in a situation where I need to defend myself or the people around me, at least I have, you know what I'm saying, opportunity to do so. I'm not just gonna give up my guns and be like, oh well, if the criminals have it, fuck it. I guess it's my day to die. Nah, man, fuck that.
I need to go get my gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, you know,
Need to
in the
get my
city of
strap.
Philadelphia, you can't even have a handgun on you.
I know. That's why I'm trying to get the fuck out.
So,
But yeah.
such is life.
Yeah, that's his life, man. Every day you go out, you take your life into your hands, bro. Especially in the United States of America, and like it's sad to say, even going to school, you can't even get an education without having to worry about that. You can't go to the grocery store without worrying about that. Can't go to church without worrying about that. Can't go to the movie theater without worrying about that. Can't go to a concert without worrying about that, bro. It's like, it's just fucked, man.
And on that note, let's wrap it up.
Yes, sir. So, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Brain Marinade podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you like the content, if you like the videos or topics or anything you guys want to comment and send us to talk about or anything like that, please leave it down below.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm talking to Kenny and our 12 subscribers, but we'll grow and, have a big community one day. So, like I said,
We
keep
have
that same
12 loyal people. Thank you very much.
Yes, I appreciate it.
So
It's only going up from here.
exactly.
We're gonna be at 1 million by the end of the year.
I mean, that would be nice.
That would be fire. You know what I mean?
That would be fire. You know, they say I'll blow up and start acting like I don't know nobody. Bro, that's like literally my mood. If I ever get up, if I ever get famous, not you though, I'm gonna act like I know you. But certain people, I would just act like I don't know you, bro, because I don't know you like that. That's just how I look at it, but yeah.
All right, thank you guys for watching. As always, have a good time and soak it in.
And savor the flavor. Till next time.